Hello, welcome to episode 1 of Draper Sucks, the 5'8" TV podcast. I'm Dave, and my co-host.
Well, my name is Cameron, but I also go by different names. The one go by
Nobody
Beikong
cares.
today.
Nobody
Yep.
cares. Different names, who gives a shit?
We can
Whatever.
also be called Betty Francis Sucks, Betty Draper Sucks, Betty Hofstadt, or whatever
Is
Mad Men
that
character
a
that you
maiden
don't like.
name? Hofstadt?
Yeah, don't remember the episode when he went on the plane and with Sal and they were he had mixed up the suitcase and they Sal got caught for being gay later on.
Oh, yeah.
I guess the early precedent is Mad Men talk.
Yeah, Mad Men Season 5 is what we're all excited about at the moment. So the title was appropriate because Betty Draper is our least favourite person. She's not our least favourite character, but she's our least favourite person in
As a
the world
character, I
of
think
Mad Men.
as a character, I think she's brilliant and brilliantly written and acted. But as a person, now she's a bitch. But if we
She's,
were talking about season 5, then it would probably be Betty Francis and whatever man she
but
manages to marry next.
to be honest, everyone still thinks of her as Betty Draper because that's how she was defined. She was defined as Don's wife, not as her own person.
I'd like to define her with my last name, to be honest.
That going back to what you said about brilliantly acted, I agree, but I don't think January Jones is a good actress. Let me just put it that way. I mean, she's good at Betty, but I don't think she's good in general.
Well, it doesn't matter if she's good in general. I've never seen her in anything else anyway. But the
You never
character
saw
she
X-Men First Class?
I don't watch stupid shit.
That's
So
good.
no, I haven't seen X-Men First Class. I don't watch superhero movies except for
Superhero
some of the
movies.
Spider-Man ones or whatever. I don't.
Implying that the Dark Knight and Batman Begins are not some of the best films to come out the last 10 years.
Was that green texted?
Yeah. I don't know if you can tell when it's audio.
So, the end of season 4, obviously, you see Don proposing to Megan. Wildly.
I did not see that coming. I did not see it coming at all.
Yeah, it was a very, I can't even talk. Impulsive move by Don. He had the ring and felt moved by the entire situation, and obviously.
Where did he get the ring from again? I can't remember. I know you've rewatched it more recently than I have.
You remember when he went to Anna's house, and it was her grandma's ring or something. And
oh man.
Her hot little nephew.
He just gave it away like that.
How long have you been thinking about this?
About what? About?
That's what she said. Come on, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm totally behind. I mean, I watched it recently, but not as recently as you. And I've been watching other things in that time.
Just finished my full rewatch recently, but yeah.
Your fourth rewatch?
No, full rewatch.
Okay.
Second viewing.
Oh. Jesus, nearly fell off my chair.
Yeah, next time I watch The Wire, it will be the fourth rewatch of that show.
I don't know if you can do 4 rewatches in such a short time frame. I don't see the point.
It's only been about a year since I've actually finished watching The Wire the first time. I'm going to watch it a couple more times, I'm sure. And every time I go through it,
You'll
I'm
find
delighted.
something else, yeah.
But yeah, Mad Men Season 5. I have no idea what's going on, except that I read an interview where John Hamm said that we're going to be shocked by the upcoming twists and turns and all these shocking things that will happen.
He's directing an episode as well, I believe.
I think he directed the third episode. The pilot counts, or not the pilot, but the premiere counts as 1 and 2.
Oh, it does, yeah, because I was going to say it's 2 hours. I was about to ask, is it 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's I'm definitely excited about it. I don't know if twists and turns is what I expect from Mad Men, but I mean,
that's what I was kind of apprehensive. It kind of sounded like he was describing a season of Lost, which was not something. Yeah, let's not get into Breaking Bad right now.
No, that's a whole another 45-minute podcast about how much Breaking Bad's gone down the toilet.
If the people who directed Breaking Bad directed Mad Men, we'd have like entire scenes like focused on a liquor bottle and Don just drinking, and it would be focused on him the entire time for the entire conversation, and whatever point of reference there was in the scene would be zoomed in completely, and there would be no subtlety or anything, whatever, and people would die randomly, and shovels would have point of views. That goddamn show in season 4 was so bad.
It was bad. I'm not going to lie, it was bad. But I mean, it wasn't completely awful. There were bits of it that were
completely awful. No, I mean, it's still good TV, but it was.
I'd rather watch Breaking Bad than watch anything that's on CBS right now.
CBS doesn't exist for me. I programmed it out of my television.
Yeah, it doesn't even have color.
My TV doesn't have color, or CBS?
CBS.
Oh wait, that's a Mad Men quote.
It is,
I caught on to that. I caught on to that. That's from the highlight episode. You can't. Come on, you can't get past me.
So let's talk about Parks and Rec. I know you've just finished it.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I didn't finish it. I get caught up from season 4.
Yeah.
Pretty great. I've been really wondering how the hell they were going to work this this campaign into it if she won. And then,
did you hear about that? They've written 2 finales and filmed 2 finales for season 4.
So they haven't even written.
No,
that's weird.
They haven't decided yet. They haven't decided which way they're going to go.
That's awesome.
The season 4 finale's been written, and the final scene has been filmed twice. Once where Leslie loses, and once where Leslie wins the election.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that deep clarification there. I figured there was one where Leslie loses and one where Ben wins, and everyone's just confused.
Shut up. But anyway, so nobody knows what's going to happen. Amy Poehler doesn't know. The NBC doesn't know. We don't know, obviously. So, it's literally on the day when it airs, we'll find out.
I was actually... It was kind of like the Entertainment 720 thing, which you knew was going to fall. I kind of felt like that was going to be the same thing with this, and then that whole scandal that led to her, dropping out of the race, and her campaign managers were like done. So I figured it was going to end there almost.
Yeah,
but it didn't.
Leslie would never give up that easily.
She was going to give up.
The thing is about TV when the characters can win or lose something, it's cliche no matter what happens. It's cliche if they win, and it's cliche if they lose. But if they keep losing, then it's too cliche. Like in Glee, I stopped watching Glee because the fact that they were the underdogs all the time just was not believable, and the fact that there was a lot else wrong with the show as well.
Also, yeah, that it sucked. Anyway, speaking of cliches, the thing that Parks does pretty well, I thought, was with the April and Andy thing, which a lot of shows would have drag it out for a long time, and they got a little bit of life out of their back and forth, and being questionable with that, but
also
they got it to an ending soon, and now they're married, which is just fucking weird.
Yeah,
they didn't drag that out like Jim and Pam or anything.
No, and I was going to lead into that because Jim and Pam has the fact that Jim and Pam are now together.
It's like a soap opera.
Yeah, it's just bullshit. I mean, I don't care about The Office anymore. I really don't. But I stopped caring about it pretty soon after Jim and Pam got together because their relationship, or their lack of relationship, was the driving force of the show. And when they got together, the show stopped having any drive. But
I've only really watched the first 3 seasons. Sorry to interrupt. And that was with a certain ex-girlfriend of mine who will remain unnamed. But I only really watched the first 3 seasons of that. And I'm always going to be like, I'm going to get into season 4.
Yes.
And I never really did. And, here I am.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Jim and Pam get married and have kids.
Yeah, I've read shit on Wikipedia, and they have kids, and she named the kids, and all this dumb shit.
No, nobody cares. The thing is about April and Andy, though, it was never the main focus of the show, and it's good that they got together because they could have dragged it out forever and ever and ever. They will, won't they? But the fact that they didn't.
I was actually pretty hard rooting for that because the show does have a little bit of heart. Where like a lot of the sitcoms like that, will have their token love stories or token little emotional pulling moments, but it feels a lot different.
With Parks and Rec, it's completely carried by the acting as well. The acting in that show is just so good, especially for
like when Leslie goes to Ben.
Oh yeah,
at the park. That was a great scene.
Yeah, Amy Poehler is just amazing. I'm such a big fan of her. She's just brilliant. She's her, Kristen Wiig, and Tina Fey are all kind of grouped together, but Amy's definitely the best of the actors out of those 3. I think Kristen and Tina are probably better writers, but I think Amy's definitely better at acting than the other 2.
She wrote an episode, Amy did. I'm not sure which one it was. It was in season 4, and she might have wrote another one, but I was reading Wikipedia, and she did write one. Yeah,
she writes a couple. She produces a lot of them as well.
And didn't Nick Offerman write the last one in episode 18?
Yeah, he directed as well, I believe. He definitely wrote it.
That guy's a triple threat, huh?
That's why Ron had so many good lines.
That when the scavenger hunt, he was so excited.
No, when he goes into the gay bar.
Enjoy your evening.
They all love him because, I mean, why wouldn't you? He's amazing.
If you've ever read any interviews from Nick Offerman, it's funny that he says he's almost, like a 180 from Ron Swanson. He said he's a lot like giddier and a lot more like goofier in real life. And doesn't really care about Ron. Yeah.
He's married to Tammy 2 in real life as well. So
yeah, I know.
The two of them together are a pretty wacky combo.
Tammy 2 is a former Will and Grace great.
That's right. Yeah.
That super hyper, super whatever girl, I forget what her name was.
Karen.
My mom watches it. Karen, yeah.
Karen, yeah.
Also my mom's name.
Yeah, that's probably why.
I don't think the secondary character in Will and Grace is why she watches the show, but that's open to debate.
Yeah, I mean, who knows with your mom? She's crazy. But also, have you seen that video of Nick Offerman's wood shop on YouTube? There's a video of this wood shop.
The video that he made and he paid the guy with the canoe? I have not seen it, but I was hoping that I should actually go find that.
Yeah, he's actually got a proper woodworking shop with and he goes through, it's like a 10-minute video of him just going through his woodworking equipment and like things he's made for people. So that's a bit of art imitating life with Ron being a woodworker as well. I'm
sure he's incredibly talented, just as talented as Ron Swanson is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started watching Parks, I was like, this is too much like The Office and too goofy, and Leslie is stupid, and she's just going to keep failing, and the entire show is going to be about the shit she does and all the little bungles, the way she screws it up, like Simpsons is now.
Yeah, it didn't come into its own until they reworked it for the second season. Everyone that I've ever recommended Parks to has always said, "Oh, I'm 3 episodes in, and it's so boring. I don't want to watch it anymore." And I said, "Just stick with it. Just stick with it because it's worth it. Believe me." And everyone's always said,
I watched the pilot, and I think I watched the second episode, and then it was like 3 or 4 days before I convinced myself to watch the third. Yeah. And then I keep hearing from you guys how great season 2 and on was, so I just blurted out season 1, finished it, then got into season 2, and it got a lot better.
Yeah, it really does. It's a pretty amazing show. It's probably apart from it would in any other world be the best show on TV at the moment. I mean, the best comedy on TV at the moment. But we're in a world where Community and Archer are both around and still brilliant.
Well, according to Metacritic ratings in 2011, Parks was rated as the #1 comedy on television, and Community was a distant 11th in the overall rankings. Park was like 4, and unfortunately Breaking Bad was #1. Mad Men didn't qualify because it didn't air in 2011.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's also why Breaking Bad wasn't nominated for an Emmy, because it didn't air during the last Emmy season.
Also because never mind.
Yeah, it probably won't win when the next ones come around either.
I hope whatever 5'8" dork that really loves Breaking Bad and tries to squash any kind of negative opinions towards it reads this or listens to this and hears me say "fuck you" to them, because they deserve it.
Who was that in particular, or is it just a group of people?
You haven't read the thread, have you?
I have, but I mean, it's a serious case of too long.
A couple guys, I don't know, people just bitching that there's bitching. It was pretty annoying. They don't need to be named. They know who they are.
Yeah, they know who they are, and they should be ashamed.
Violently ashamed. And I have the Ron Swanson smile on my face right now.
Yeah, going back to what I said about Community and Archer, Community is back now, which is amazing. And the episode that it came back to was a very good one. I mean, a few people have said that it's not the best the show's ever done, which is true, but it's still good. It's still Community. You'd still tell it's the same show. It was actually written and produced before the hiatus.
That's what I read. So anybody complaining that the show had actually taken a nosedive after the hiatus can shove it.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
Because it was recorded before that, and that's all I can say, I guess.
Yeah, it was a good episode, and I'm so glad the show's back. It's sad that it's gone on that Parks has gone on hiatus for Community to come back. I don't know why NBC can't manage shows. It can't be that difficult, but obviously they can't. So they've put Parks on hiatus until late April. But
well, hopefully it's not a one for the other situation. Hopefully it's just a coincidence. But it is kind of disappointing that I finished Parks today and I got to wait another month for the next, the rest of the season.
Yeah, it is annoying. It's NBC again. I mean, they've done this. They've been doing this for years since 30 Rock started airing. They've been doing it. They've been messing around.
There's a show I haven't really gotten into is 30 Rock.
It's a great show. I'm a big fan. I'm probably one of the biggest fans of it on 5A. I know a lot of people say that it's not as good as it should be, considering its cast and its its writers. But I really do love it. It's a great show. It's gone on. A lot of people said it's gone on for too long, and I do kind of agree. But I'm still glad that it's on because it's still.
What season is it in?
It's up to its 6th season, and it's been renewed for its 7th as well.
Speaking of,
and the thing is, no one ever expected it to go that long. Nobody ever expected it to get past its first season because its ratings were really bad, and it was up against the show Studio 60, written by Aaron Sorkin, and nobody thought
that show faded fast, huh?
Yeah, nobody thought that the 30 Rock was gonna win. When those two were compared to each other, but it did, and it's kept going. So it's one where nobody thought it would. So I'm really happy about that.
Do you remember that ABC show that used to air after Lost in 2006, 2007 called The Nine? Speaking of shows that didn't last that long.
The name rings a bell, but I don't know. I don't know what it was.
I've never watched it. I'm just saying. It reminded me of a show that crapped out pretty quickly, even though it had pretty good commercial appeal, but it did die just like Lost should have.
And I still haven't watched it. I remember when it first started that there was a friend of mine at school who was just mad on it. So it was just she watched it all the time. She would watch an episode and then would rewatch it every day until the next episode came out the week after.
If you can watch Lost in a burst in probably, 2 months, a month's time, it's going to be great because you're not going to have too much time to think about the plot holes. You're not going to have too much time to think about all the other dumb shit.
Is it just cliffhanger after cliffhanger every week?
Yeah, it usually ends on a cliffhanger. I can't think. The show, there's a lot of just stuff that doesn't make sense. And the first season's outstanding, still outstanding, even on a rewatch, even on a couple of rewatches. Really good character development, good writing, good directing. The music isn't as upfront, and not everything's as ham-fisted.
I've heard great things about the music for that show.
The music is a little in your face and telling you what to feel, but it's well done. It's not like other shows that barely have any music, what I prefer. Like The Wire doesn't have any music at all besides whatever they call the term that music that appears in.
Yeah, incidental.
It's not what they call it. They call it something else. But anyway, Lost. I loved it the first time through. Thought the ending was good. Got the characters right. Brought everything to an end that really one of the only ends they could bring it to without it progressed. But when you watch it on a rewatch, it's really stupid.
Yeah.
The 5th and 6th seasons are just dumb, and there's time travel. I mean, you're not going to watch it, so who cares, right?
No, I probably won't. I mean, I've got so many shows that I'm like,
there's time travel, and there's they're going shift in time, and people are dying, and I mean it's for a network drama, it's pretty quality, and it's well acted for the most part, but it got pretty stupid towards the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first season has appealed to me a little bit because the idea of the way humans react in an isolated situation like that's one that appeals to me. Like
you should definitely watch. You should watch it. I mean, it's a show that you should watch because there's so many. It's done a lot for TV the way it is, but season 1 is really high quality.
Yeah. So speaking of shows whose first episodes are good, The Walking Dead is one of those.
Don't even get me started on that fucking show. That show is the height of tedium.
It's really, really boring. And then they throw in like these unnecessarily oh my god moments to try and distract from that, but it doesn't. It just highlights it.
The only people who like that show are horror junkies, which have bad taste in shit anyway.
The thing with the thing that sucks about The Walking Dead more than a show that's just bad is that it's got these little glimmers of good parts. The first episode is amazing. The first episode is really, really good. And then every episode thereafter, or at least most episodes thereafter, have had these little glimmers where you think, this show, there's potential here, but they're squandering it because they don't know how to make a zombie show. They don't know how to put it on TV. They've got no idea what they're doing. So they keep fucking it up and making these bits which are just, you don't want to watch because you don't give a shit about the characters. But they seem to think that everyone does. So, yeah, it's just a bad show. But I mean, the last episode had the ending, which was obviously going to make me keep watching it. But I hate it for that. I hate it more than if it was just a bad show. I really do.
And the sad thing about the show, the really sad thing about it, besides the fact that the only people who are like it are people who are drawn to zombies and stuff like that, which is, you know, some entertaining stuff, but
Guilty.
It's really, it really panders. And the other thing, it really kills a lot of really good shows in ratings. I mean, look at these. I'm looking at the ratings right now. I got an 8 on the season 2, episode 8 on February 12th. They got an 8.10 US viewers. Parks didn't do half that.
No,
and
that's sad. Right. No, it is, yeah. But the good thing is that it's not in a time slot where it affects anything else, so we can't be that angry at it.
But isn't it like Sunday night at something?
Yeah, it's on Sunday nights, yeah.
Well, so is Mad Men.
Yeah, but it's on the same channel.
Yeah, and it'll be over by the time Mad Men starts anyway, which is 8 days from holy shit.
If anything, the fact that it's on the same channel, is it on before Mad Men or is it on after?
Well, like I said, it's going to end. The finale is on March 18th tomorrow.
Yeah. That's right.
Mad Men starts the 25th.
That's right. Okay.
So it fills the void.
So
speaking
it's
of
AMC time slot, is that what you were saying?
I'm not sure what time it comes out. It'll probably tell me here.
I would have thought The Walking Dead would be on later because it's following. But you know, who knows? But what I was going to say is, if it's in the same time slot, that's a good thing for Mad Men because it'll get the lead-in from Walking Dead, not the lead-in because it's not on before, but you know, it'll retain viewers because it has the same time slot.
Yeah, people will turn it on. Yeah, I know what you mean. Speaking of ratings, I'm going to look at the Mad Men ratings right now. Actually, ooh, God, that's bad. Holy shit. Season 2, I'm looking at Season 2 right now. Mad Men ratings 2, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah, it's gone up. It's gone up ever since it started.
Season 4 premiere had almost 3, and it's pretty consistently 2 throughout. So
yeah, it's getting more popular. It's going to keep going for a while, for sure.
That's the thing. I don't know. I'm worried about the show. Actually, I'm really worried about it.
Worried it could get worse.
Yeah, another 2 seasons. I don't know.
This has been renewed for a 6th as well.
No, I mean it's been renewed for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
A 7th? Good lord!
It says right here that it's a strong possibility of a 7th. So, you know, I don't know. It might be one of those open-ended endings. Didn't
Matthew Weiner say that it was gonna one of the seasons? I can't remember, but he said it had been renewed. But didn't he say that the season that it had been renewed for was going to be the final one? So season 6 was going to be the last.
I don't know. One thing I did read is that the negotiations almost broke down, and that he almost quit the show, and then that the season 4 finale would have been the show finale, which would be kind of fucked up.
No, it wouldn't have been a good show finale at all.
Well, if he would have quit, it would have. Yeah, right here, I'm reading the finale for. God, I keep saying that, but the premiere for season 5 is a 2-part episode, and tea leaves.
It's 2-part. I thought it was just feature length.
No, well, it says 1 and 2 in here, so that's how the production numbers are. But the episode 3, the one that airs on April Fool's Day, is directed by John Hamm.
Okay, yeah. Did he direct any before? I got a feeling he did.
No, John Slattery is the cast member who usually throws his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
He hasn't done any other ones.
Who is the Suitcase directed by?
Oh, Suitcase was directed by Jennifer Getzinger.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, some chick I've never heard of.
She's directed a bunch of episodes.
She's good, because it's a great episode.
It's an outstanding episode, but probably the best episode of the show.
Yeah, when I was watching the Emmys last year, that was the only clips that they were showing for the show were from that episode.
Really?
Yeah, because it's exemplary of why the show is so good. It's like a little 50-minute clip show of why Mad Men is such a good show.
Did they show Duck trying to take a shit on Roger's chair?
I can't remember. I don't think so. They mostly just showed Betty. What am I saying? Peggy and Don arguing in Don's office.
Well, that's what the entire episode was.
Yeah. Apart from Peggy on the phone to work.
Except for one of the most emotional scenes I've ever seen in TV when he calls California. That's just he's a beast. He's just such a beast and a master. And I mean, just the little things that his face does when he's on the phone. It's so authentic. Yeah. It's so well acted, and
that's really good.
He's such a monster. Peggy in that episode was outstanding.
Yeah, she is. And the scene where she goes into the bathroom after the shouting match, it's just, it's really good. It's the fourth season. Up until that point, to me, I've been kind of thinking, this is a show losing it a little bit, like because the first 3 seasons the stakes were higher, and the fourth season it seemed like the show was kind of okay. Well, we've got to this point now, we can relax a little bit. But yeah, once they got to that episode, I was like, yeah, no, the show's definitely still here.
I thought the show, it was pretty much consistently outstanding since, especially in the rewatch, pretty much consistently outstanding from like the 5th episode of the first season. It just...
It did take me a little while to get into it. There was a few episodes in the very first season that I thought, what's happening? Why is there nothing happening in this show? But then it kicked off after that. And I bet if I rewatched them now, then I'd probably find them just to be really good.
It's really, the show really hit me. Like, it really started to become one of my favorites when Don just confesses everything to Betty in season 3 in that episode.
Oh yeah.
When it really started to hit for me.
Yeah, it's where you see Don. You see so many more layers of Don after that than you have before.
Well, you see the layers. You just see them. You see them peeled back, and you see more of his tender side, I guess, just the weak Don that he doesn't like being, which is probably why he stopped seeing Faye in favor of Megan, who didn't know him at all, and he could, be confident and
become a new person.
Well, be Don. He doesn't need to become a new person. Oh, I think all that shit he said to her, like beating himself and all that, I think that's just shit he told her. I mean, he was himself more with Faye. He just, he talked about not wanting to do it anymore and, tired of running, tired of lying. And then he goes back to doing that exact same thing with Megan.
Yeah, everyone's like that. They say that they're going to change and they fall back into the same routine. That's what people are like.
It's just as comfortable. It's what's, his Dick Whitman, what did that get him? Didn't get him anything. Don Draper's got him everything.
Yeah, it really has. So that's...
But yeah, back to season 5. I don't know. I mean, the other seasons, they start, like it's a couple years in the future or 6 months in the future. Like the gap between season 1 and season 2 was, 2 years? And I think it was shorter between 3 and 4, but I don't know what it's going to be in 4 or 5. You never know with the show.
Yeah, 3 and 4 was 6 weeks, I'm pretty sure.
And the show, between each week, it seems like each week is like a month, or each episode is like a month, or maybe less in between episodes. Season 5, though, like you said, I have no words to describe it. I'm excited, but I'm also worried.
If season 5 happens in, 66 or 65? I think it's 66.
I think it's 65, because it says Dick and Anna's 64 or 65 on the wall that he paints when she dies, or when he goes there.
I'm just thinking, if it's 66, then it'll be interesting, because Vietnam gets a lot more intense in 66.
Yeah, I've been wondering when Vietnam was going to come into play. I'm going to look at
because the show's definitely had world events affected in a big way, which is another thing I love about it. The JFK episode was brilliant. But yeah, 60.
Yes, 60. It was the whole block of episodes about JFK and his assassination and Robert Kennedy and all that stuff.
Yeah, 66 is going to be a big year. NASA gets bigger, the space race gets bigger. All of those things are going to affect the business at Sterling Cooper, Draper Price.
Yeah, it's not going to be Cooper anymore if what happened stands up.
They won't
Sterling Draper Price.
They won't take his name out of it. They never do. That sort of thing happens all the time in businesses, and
they won't take his name out. It's funny the thing that they didn't. Nobody seemed to care that Cooper left, and didn't he leave? And was it the last episode that he left?
Yeah, but to be honest, what does he do? Sterling Cooper, Draper
Price. Who was it that it was Roger?
He left
when Roger had his heart attacks.
He left after Don put the advert in the paper about not advertising cigarettes anymore, which I think was episode 10 or 11.
The cigarette ad wasn't that wasn't the finale, was it?
I don't think so. Maybe it was.
I thought it was. I don't know. I can't remember, even I just watched it. Anyway, if it's the finale, then I don't really have a qualm. But if it's not, they really got pretty they had a couple moments when Roger had his heart attacks, and that the clients would be worried that Roger's going to die, and that the business is unstable, and
Yeah.
they didn't really address that when Cooper walked out. But like you said, if that's in episode 10, then they should have addressed it. But I thought it was in the finale.
Yeah.
But he went to California, so it probably wasn't.
No, I don't think it was.
I don't know. Thanks for listening. You're all a bunch of faggots.
Well, I mean, that's a little harsh, isn't it? I mean, these people have given us a good 35 minutes of their time, and that's how you treat them?
That's going to be edited out, obviously.
No, I think we should leave that in.
Next time,
do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Hang on. Let's just reset. Do it again, and I'll say that again, and then we'll just kind of bicker a bit, and then we'll just say bye.
We've already done that.
Yeah, but now we've just talked about how we're going to edit it out, so...
Leave it in. Who cares?
Fine. Okay, fine. Well, we'll leave it there then. Thanks everybody for listening. And
I'm not done.
You're not done? No? Okay, fine.
Next week's episode of Betty Draper Sucks, a 5/8 podcast, will include our very early reactions to the season 5 premiere of Mad Men, plus some more bantering.
Plus
some more.
I might get a little snippet of a review of the Community and Archer as well from next week.
I'm pretty sure nobody cares.
Whatever.
Probably talk about more things, and more time will be consumed. That's good.
Yep, sounds good. Okay, I'll stop it there.